You know, my first guest took the streets of Brooklyn over to France, and he won the Best New Film Director Award at the Cannes Film Festival there. Please welcome the man who wrote it, directed it, and starred in it. The movie is She's Gotta Have It. The man is Spike Lee. I gotta ask you something. You know, what's amazing to me is that, you know, their movies are made for so much money. And you shot this film in 12 days and spent $175,000. $175,000, they pay people like, you know, great stars like Warren Beatty just to think about making a movie. They pay them more than you used on a whole budget. How'd you ever do in 12 days for that money?
Well, we'd have liked to have more money. That's all the money we had. And I couldn't wait around for a studio to call me.
Yeah.
So we just had to make the film ourselves, and that's the way we did it.
But how'd you economize? How'd you cut the corners? I mean, how'd you do it?
Well, it was all non-union. It was a group of people like myself who were young and hungry, and we wanted to have a vehicle that we get our names out there. So films can be done for that.
For that money?
For that money.
But you shot it all in one section of Brooklyn, right, in 12 days?
My neighborhood, Fort Greene, Brooklyn, which is downtown Brooklyn.
Oh, so you just stayed in downtown Brooklyn. We did not invite them. I don't know how they got in. And then you used a lot of your family in this, right?
Yeah, but that was not economical.
You mean they charge you a lot of money, your family?
No, I have a very talented family, yeah. So it had nothing to do with money. I just used it. My father, Bill Lee, was an accomplished jazz musician. Yeah. He did the score. My sister acted it. My brother, David, he did the still photographs that are in the film.
Yeah, well, you know what we ought to do is actually we ought to show some of the film to the audience. A lot of people did see it, you know, and we ought to show some of the film. So here it is. Watch your monitors, and at home, no, don't watch the television. Watch the refrigerator, of course.
Yeah, no, did I ever tell you about the time I met Jesse Jackson?
No.
I didn't tell you?
No.
I thought I told you.
Tell me now.
Yeah, it was like 5 years ago, you know, and I was walking down the street and I saw Jesse Jackson. Oh, I couldn't believe that. I went over to talk to Jesse. I said, Jesse, you know, we talked, ba-ba, 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 ba-ba. I said, Jesse, you know, one day you make a good president of these United States. Look what happened. He ran. It was me, Morris Blackman. I gave him my ideal. Run, Jesse, run. It's my ideal. Run, Jesse, run. Lies.
Greer, who are you calling a liar?
You heard what I said.
I believe you.
Thank you, Noel. It's the truth. Who'd you vote for, Ronnie, baby? Why do you always stick up for this chain snatcher? Chain snatcher? I didn't snatch this. I bought this. This is 18 karat gold. I did not snatch this. What do you know? You're a Celtic fan.
You know what I like? I like what you do when you repeat those that repeating business.
Right.
You know that. Yeah, is that right? You know. Where'd you pick that up? That's a little thing you just picked up, right?
Yeah, that wasn't scripted at all. We tried it the first day on the set, and we just continued it throughout.
Yeah. This is the first time you ever acted in the film, right?
First time ever. Never took any lessons. It was halfway through writing the script where I decided I should play the character Morris Blackman. Morris Blackman being one of the three lovers that Nola Darling has. That's what the film's about. Now, you made a statement, I read something about that you felt that this was a very true portrayal of black people in film. I don't know if I said that. I said that. Or was it white people? Was white or black? I forget which. I thought it was black. Maybe I made a mistake. No, I said it was I thought it was a very realistic portrayal of blacks, and it's always been my contention that black people cannot rely on Hollywood to define our existence, to tell us who we are, and you shouldn't expect anything different from The Color Purple. My thing is that we have to go out and make our own films, and that's what I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. Well, I know, and a lot of films are made like through the 50s. They had these great subway shots. They have people on the subways, Doris Day and everybody on the subway. You never saw a black person on a subway. Yeah. I was growing up in Philadelphia, and I kept saying, "Where is that subway?" Well, what's happened is that since we had the world premiere in Cannes Film Festival, that's where the French started calling me the Black Woody Allen, and I like Woody Allen, but if you look at his films, take place in Manhattan. You had to look very long and hard to find a black person in his films too.
Well, I didn't see a lot of Jews in yours. I don't want to defend Woody, but you know. But actually, the other thing that's interesting about the film is the portrayal of women in it. That you reversed it. Instead of usually in films you have the man who has all the women. Now you have a woman who has 3 men. Now they think it's autobiographical. Now, did you do this purposely? Is that the idea of portraying women at that double standard, or slicing through that double standard?
It was done on purpose. I got the idea from hearing all my male friends brag about how many lady friends they have in their stables, and if one of them would like to see another guy, she gets tired of it. They go through the roof. So I said, why not do a film about a young lady that's living her life as a man as far as relationships go? The thing about Nola Darling is that she's honest, so all 3 men know about the other 2, where most men, and I've done this myself, I love you, baby. Then you go over here, I love you, baby. I love you, baby. And you're doing this 8, 9 times. But Nola, she's very honest.
Yeah, well, it's all right to do that. I love you, baby, except when you're alone. Then it's a really sick, hey, I love you, baby, I love you, baby. You're just rehearsing, right? Now, your next film, I want to ask you a question. Your next film, you're doing a musical, and you're going to have a budget of about $4 million. Do you think that's going to change your way of approaching filmmaking, that you got all that money? Not that it's a lot of money for a film, but it's a lot more than you've used.
Right. It's not going to change anything, because what it's going to change is that people get paid right away. The actors had to wait a year for their money. I'm very grateful to them, because they had to wait. Money wasn't there, and it was deferred.
Yeah.
But with this film, people get paid right away, but the same spirit that I have in filmmaking will apply to this film, and the $4 million will not affect me.
Well, I'll tell you something. I think you're going to be one of the great filmmakers, and I'm glad you came on my show when you're just starting out, and I hope you come back when you do the real big epic that everybody loves and makes a fortune. And thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. We're going to take a little break. We'll be back. Great film.